Hi, my name is Annabelle, and as I researched on the California State Board for counselors who were disciplined, I came across a few cases that the counselors were reprimanded for about the same reason, and that was for having relationships with clients and having been found guilty of immoral and unprofessional conduct. So my personal reaction and my initial reaction was that I was thinking, how is having a relationship with a client who came to you for helping them? And then I was also thinking, what happened to utilizing common sense and being ethical? Obviously, we're human, and we make mistakes and there's temptation. But instead of being led by the ego and acting upon our animal instincts, as counselors, practicing ethics and integrity would be in our best interest, right? And especially to the client, who we are supposed to put above everything. The behavior that led to the discipline was engaging in sexual relations with a client or a former client within 2 years following termination of professional services. And that quote I got from the California State Board. And the ACA Code of Ethics that was being violated was A.5.A. And that was, I quote, sexual and or romantic counselor-client interactions or relationships with current clients, their romantic partners, or their family members are prohibited. And that quote I got from the ACA Code of Ethics. And then in addition, the ACA Code of Ethics that I also thought was being violated was A.5.C. And that code states that sexual and romantic counselors, client relationship, or relationships with former clients, their romantic partners or family members is prohibited for a period of 5 years following the last professional contact. And that I got from the ACA Code of Ethics. So the ACA Code of Ethics says 5 years. The state of California says 2 years. I just figure you just, excuse my language, but you don't poop where you sleep, right? Anyways, the California State Code that was violated is Code 4989.54. And that is revocation of license due to sexual conduct with a client. And that information I got from the California State Board. And the board ended up revoking the licenses of the licensees. And once they discovered that, in fact, the licensees had engaged in an act of sexual conduct, as defined in Section 729, and when the act with the client occurred, or the former client, the relationship was terminated primarily for the purpose of engaging in the act. So what that meant was they ended these couple of particular cases. They ended the counselor-client relationship so that they could engage in the relationship, and that's what they were found guilty of. And that information I also got from the California State Board. So the ACA Code of Ethics that discussed impairment is Section C.2.G, and that is counselors monitor themselves for signs of impairment from their own physical, mental, or emotional problems and refrain from offering or providing professional services. And that I got from the ACA Code of Ethics. I think the question that comes to mind will be, the counselor is expected to be ethical in his decision making. And with that, how is the counselor to make a clear-minded decision? And with that thought in mind, how is a counselor who is impaired expected to pass or a clear-minded judgment of himself on himself and regulate himself if he's impaired. That part doesn't make sense to me. Those are just my thoughts. Good luck, everybody.